really.
Wala naman po. Wala pong pondong ibabalik. In fact, they're realigning some, I mentioned earlier, they're realigning some funds in order to retrofit bridges, retrofit other infrastructure projects. So yung mga nasisave nila at yung mga hindi nila ginagastos, linalagay rin nila sa mga importanteng projects.
And also, I'd like to thank the chair of the Committee on Finance. Yung pong 250 billion or so from flood control projects, as we suggested, be put in other programs or projects, pero construction pa rin, no? Like airports, sports, in the OTR and other classrooms. So at least tuloy-tuloy with the Senate intervention, sa atin po tuloy-tuloy, no? It will be placed in construction and other infra spending. So I'd like to thank the chairman for listening to our suggestion.
Your intervention, Mr. Chairman, as the Vice Chairman of the Subcommittee on Transportation. So we allocated a big amount to school buildings, which is also construction, and also to building seaports and airports, which is your intervention, Senator JV.
Yes, I'd like to thank the chairman for that. Now, with regard to the BBM infra program and Build Better More infrastructure program has set to be implemented and completed from 2023 to 2028, supposedly consists of 207 high-impact infrastructure flagship projects with an estimated overcost of almost 9 trillion. The majority of the big-ticket projects are under the DPWH. Just like to know, where are we in the implementation of these big-ticket projects? So may mga flagship project na ba po tayong malapit na matapos so that we can at least have something to show, no? At ano pa yung mga projects na may that have delayed implementation?
Mr. Chairman, meron ho tayong 5 flagship infrastructure projects already completed. Saan yun? Ongoing. Ito ba yung completed? So ito po yung Samar Pacific Coastal Road Project Phase 1, Integrated Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation Measures in Low-Lying Areas of Pampanga Bay, Stage 1, Flood Risk Management Project for CDO River, Arterial Road Bypass Project Phase 3, and Pangil Bay Bridge Project. Ito po ay completed na ito. Lahat to po ay ODA actually. And then we have 15 IFP projects ongoing construction, 12 IFP projects under pre-construction stage, and 9 IFP projects under project proposal stage.
At least all of these projects are pwede natin pakita i-showcase yung mga infrastructure projects to foreign investors, and also at least hindi lang tayo puro show cost, pero hindi naman tayo showcase. So at least we're doing something. No,
Puro nasasawa na rin tayo sa show cost orders, Mr. President.
At least meron tayong showcase and something to look forward to for investors. Next, yung new DPWH costing. This has been a concern. This is a concern from some sectors. Maraming nagsasabi na natatakot na mag-bid yung iba because of the new costings. Parang wala na raw kikitain. So it will be nice. It will be good if the secretary himself would explain that this is not the case. No? Kasi the construction infrastructure spending really has to continue as the economic driver. It has been reported in the news that DPW has reduced the cost for building materials and updated their construction materials price data, or CMPD. However, we have not heard any adjustment in your detailed unit price analysis or DUPA. So when are you planning to publish your new or revised DUPA? What are the considerations in your adjustment? Did we consider location of projects? How much will your target allowable profit for legitimate construction firms who wants to do business with the government?
Actually, Mr. President, hindi po problema yung presyo, ang problema po yung lagay, yung SOP. Yung po ang nakakakain po ng kita ng mga contractor eh. Dahil kung reasonably kikita sila 5%, 10%, reasonable ho yan.
Kayang habulin.
Oo, walang problema ho if they make 5 to 10%. That's, I think personally that's reasonable. Pero kung yung 5% nila, 10% nila pupunta sa lagay, tapos another 10 to 20% pupunta rin sa lagay, doon po nagkakaproblema. Kahit ano po ibabaho natin na presyo, hindi ho talaga pupunta sa proyekto, pupunta ho yan sa mga corrupt na officials. Kaya I don't see, I thank DPWH Secretary Dizon for sending us the new CMPD, yung construction material price data, kasi naging realistic na siya and mas mababa siya. Sabi ko nga kanina, up to 50%. Pero ang kulatili ho dito, dapat walang corruption. Kasi kung binababa mo po yung presyo, tapos may corruption pa, talagang
Mahirap talaga.
malulugi talaga yung contractor.
Well, definitely, I agree with you, no, Mr. President. Talagang patungan mo ba naman ng 25%, may parking pa na 5%, meron pang iba pang gaila, talagang kung di substandard, i-go-ghost talaga. Dahil wala nang kikitain. But with the new reforms being instituted by the department under Secretary Dizon, at least it's good to know that kung mawala yung mga lagay, yung mga parking, yung tara nila sa Aldicon Company noon na 25%, kayang habulin pa rin. And it will still be profitable for the legitimate contractors. No? Meron naman silang margin na ilalagay natin na 10, 20%.
Yeah, but at least mga 10% more or less, no? So, and that's reasonable. Sa negosyo, that's reasonable po. So, yun na nga ho, ang importante dito. When I say corruption, di lang naman ho natin tinitignan ng DPWH, pati na rin yung mga politiko, pati na rin yung mga contractor na naglalagay. Dapat ho, wala ho yun para reasonable po yung kita ho nila.
It's really a major reboot of our system, no? Talagang paglilinis ang kailangan natin. And that's good to know, no? At least tuloy-tuloy. I'm just worried na it has to be a balance na hindi matigil yung ating pong construction, yung ating spending, no? Because of the multiplier effect and the economic drivers. And glad to know na at least we are giving pa rin that leeway for the margin for the contractors, yung legitimate, para pumasok sila.
Definitely. Ako ay isa po yan ang aking prinsipyo na dapat yung private sector kumita rin ng reasonable. No? Hindi naman natin pwedeng hindi sila pakitain or else hindi sila papasok po sa mga government projects.
Titigil yung titigil yung infraspending natin.
Actually, ang nakakakain po ng kanilang puhunan ay yung lagay. No? So, at yung SOP. Kung mawala ho yan, then wala ho tayong problema.
Medyo rin talaga yung recently, nakakalula talaga, no, yung mga narinig natin recently. And hopefully, hindi na talaga maulit ito. And again, this is a major reboot for the government as a whole. Yung po, next is the manipulation of the DPWH project coordinates. Ito po kasi yung ginawang scheme nila Bryce Hernandez, parang sinadya nilang guloyin yung coordinates para maitago yung ghost projects. During the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing last September 18, namin na mismo Director Ralph Kawaling ng DPWH Information Management Service na puno ng discrepancy ang MYPS or Multi-Year Programming and Scheduling System na inamin din mismo ni Secretary Vince sa ilang interview sa media. Nakatagap din po ng ganitong mga report ang aming opisina. Mukha po kasing naging importante ang ma-coordinate sa MYPS system ninyo sa pagtukoy ng mga alleged ghost projects. Ang tanong ko lang, naisaayos na po ba ang discrepancy sa MYPS system? Nailapat na po ba natin coordinate sa actual na awarded projects sa mga contractors? O mas marami ba ang nakita na kumpirma ninyo na ghost projects kumpara sa actual or existing or legitimate projects?
So, Mr. President, tama ho kayo na in the past, mayroong mga geotagging, may Project Dime, pero wala naman ho tayong nakitang benepisyo ho doon. So ngayon, meron na ho silang partnership with Philippine Space Agency kung saan gagamitin ho nila itong real-time satellite, no? Imaging para po makita ho natin yung takbo ng project, kung nasaan yung project, at ito rin ay gagamitin nila sa pag-monitor and pagbabayad po ng mga project. So, hindi na ho mauulit yung mga pinapeki po yung coordinates. Ito po talaga real time.
Ginulo nila ginulo talaga
Oo nga,
to hide the ghost project.
Correct. Talagang sinadya ho yung, kumbaga, sinabotahe po yung sistema. So, ito ngayon, meron tayong satellite imaging na hindi na ho nila masasabotahe yun.
But during this floodgate scandal, ilan lang, wala naman talagang mga legitimate na contractor would allow themselves to have ghost projects. Nagamit lang talaga yung lisensya.
Correct.
And there are some contractors na legitimate na nabiktima rin, no? I think Secretary Vince knows this because of wrong coordinates kasi nga po doon sa confusion.
Correct.
Pero hopefully yung mga legitimate contractors will be clear so that they can already start building and helping the department. Ang worry ko na kasi baka iba matroma na magkaroon tayo problema. Yun mga talagang nag-ghost lang, yun ang dapat sigurong i-blacklist, no?
Tama ho kayo, Senator JV, Mr. President. Hindi naman lahat ng contractor may problema. Marami rin po ay honest, marami rin ay gusto lang magnegosyo, kumita ng maayos. So yung mga ganun na contractor, pag nakita naman maganda yung proyekto, walang problema, binabayaran ho kaagad. At the end, kailangan din ho natin yung private sector dito, hindi naman lahat gobyerno po ang gagawa. Ang actual on the ground na gumagawa, mga contractor rin po. So, pipiliin lang natin yung maayos at may tapat na contractors.
Well, with that, I'd like to thank our chair and Secretary Dizon. At least it has been clarified, no? At least marami nang magkakaroon ng kumpiyansa na mag-bid pa rin, no? In our infrastructure projects next year. At least tuloy-tuloy yung growth natin. Yung economic drivers will continue. Be rest assured of our support. Of course, that's one of our advocacies, no? And syempre, namimiss din natin Secretary Dizon who I partnered with while defending the OTR. One of our advocacies is really transport modernization. But I know that you have a very tough challenge ahead of you, but be rest assured of our support because of the reforms that you are now instituting in DPWH. With that, Mr. President, I terminate my interpellation. And next to interpellate is
Yes.
Senator Lauren Legarda. I move that you recommend.
Senator Lauren Legarda is recognized.
Ito ko na lang daw po.
Ayoko na yan. Ang dami na.
Pwede na si James.
Thank you, Mr. President. My questions are just points of clarification which probably were not raised during the committee hearings, or perhaps as things evolve, we just need clarity, or perhaps to state it during plenary so that things are in the record. They're actually very, very basic. This is to educate all of us, including this representation who's been here since 1998, so that we understand the budgetary process, so that the good secretary who may be new in this part of government would completely understand where we're coming from, so that he could master at least the budgetary process, which is quite difficult and challenging. And even I, having been here for 25 years, still discover new things of late. So the first batch of questions will focus on the National Expenditure Program. Again, because we're live streamed, it is important that this is part of the education in the budgetary process. Nagsisimula sa NEP ang ating mga proyekto, mga activities and programs.